day of this man here, John Lynch, was in Lisselton School, was the last day we were in the old school. And he was with us that day, and he videoed the last day that the last school was in operation. You know, none of you were coming to school that day. In fact, none of you were even born that day. And he's here today now to video again something different. And he's here videoing it in a totally different environment, a totally different surrounding. That day, back in April 1983. How long ago was that? Well, it will be 13 years ago, this April now.
Sure, I saw the video.
Did you? Was there anybody born that day? Was there anybody that was over 13 years of age? When you were very small at that time, in April 1983, when the old school was about closed. Anybody remember the old school? I mean, it has been demolished now. But that's where we were up to 1983. In 1983, we moved down here. Now, we were above in the old school. There was no such thing as uniforms. There were no carpets. There was no central heating. There was no running water. There were no toilets as part of the school. There was no tarmac outside the playground. There was no basketball court. There was no football field. I suppose we had something in it. So we left the old school in 1983 and came down here. It was a wonderful change to move into a school. So bright, clean, and so comfortable and so new. That was something that those who experienced it still talk about.
A Falsharoad, Galare, Arvine and Mairead, weren't they absolutely brilliant? Can we have a bula bus, please? They will be back. But they've done us proud already. Welcome on behalf of the Ballydonoghue Bardic Festival Committee to our contribution to National Heritage Week 2018. Hedge schools emerged in the 18th century in Ireland as a response to the penal laws. And those of you of my age will know quite a bit about the penal laws because we got them beaten into us when we were at school doing history. But they sought to weaken the status of Catholics by denying them access to education. Many were already ground down by the poverty and squalor in which they were forced to live, the rents they were forced to pay, the constant threat of eviction, and a complete lack of any access to justice under the law of the land, not to mention a potato shortage 1 year in every 3, long before the Great Famine of the 1840s. Famine was nothing new in Ireland even then. The children of the Hedge schools then came from a background of great poverty, but from a tradition that valued education above almost all else, at a time when the more the people were denied, the more they were determined to ensure their children had access to the best education available. This was the quality education provided by the illegal schoolmasters and mistresses who taught on the sunny sides of hedges, and aren't we in one today? Sunny sides of hedges in summer and in cowsheds and cabins in the winter. This belief in education as the best preparation for life is still very much part of the Irish psyche today. We've tried this afternoon to provide a tiny glimpse of life 200 years ago, when people like Pádraig Lea O'Crohor risked their freedom and very often their lives to educate the children of Ballydonoghue and North Kerry. We want you also to sample the food and drink of the time, although this afternoon's fare is quite middle class by 18th century standards, when potatoes and fish would have been what most people ate, and then if they were lucky. On behalf of the Ballydonoghue Bardic Festival Committee, I would like to welcome you once again and hope you enjoy our little pageant. Thank you.
Calling all scholars, Cunis, 6 years. Hedge, the master's penny marsh at the holly. Anish, let us begin. Nanam Nahar, August and Vic, August and Spear, Nave, Amen. Now, we'll start off the lesson with a song from Master Jack and Mistress Ellen.
Oh, to look at me, would you ever think that I was in me prime? My clothes are torn and my shoes are worn and my age is 49. Oh, I had friends and pals galore, but alas, those days are past. And the only one that I have now is a poor old shook-old lass. Oh, a kind old friend and a true old pal was this old lass to me. Many's the night he brought me home when I was on the spree. Though he's highly bred and he's badly fed, for I don't own much grass. Is the hair nor my scare, nor my dick nor my care, nor my great big Roman ass. I bought this ass for a half a crown, so 20 years ago. We chanced to meet upon the street at the fair of Ballydonoghue. He took me high, he looked so high, with skin as smooth as glass. And sure I paid down my old bad half crown and sailed home with that tass. Oh, a kind old friend and a true old pal, was this our last to me. Many's the night he brought me home and I was on the spree. Though he's highly bred and he's badly fed, for I don't own much grass. He's a hare and a scare and a different make care and a great big Roman ass. Oh, I'll never forget the day we met at the fair of Ballydonoghue. Uphill and down through streets in town, go on. Should a pair of us did go, and to depart would break my heart, for no one could take his place. And tell all of what I think of him, sure I think he's no disgrace. Oh, a kind old friend and a true old pal, was this all last to me. Many the night he brought me home and I was on the spree. Though he's highly bred, he's badly fed, for I don't own much grass. He's a hare and a scare and a devil may care and a great big Roman ass.
Woo! All of us! All of us! Now, let us begin our lesson with the ancient and noble language of Latin. Amo, amat, amas.
Amo, amas, amas.
Arish,
Amo, amas, amas.
Arish.
Amo, amas, amas.
Now, Master Jack, would you be able to tell the class what amo, amas, amat means?
I love, you love, he, she, it loves.
Mahan, vocal Master Jack. Now, let us rehearse. Amamus, amatus, amant.
Amamus, amatis, amant.
Arish,
Amamus, amatis, amant.
Arish.
Amamus, amatis, amant.
Now, Mrs. Gilbert, would you be able to tell the class what amamus, amatus, amant means?
Níl fisi go master.
Got Mileshkiel?
Níl is go master.
Mrs. Gilbert, it seems to me that your parents have pennies to burn. Master Jack, will you please enlighten the classroom as to what amamus, amatus, amant means?
We love,
And whom do we love, Master Jack? And when the priest comes to inspect us, whom do we love?
Our Lord in heaven, master.
And when the agent comes to inspect us, whom do we love?
The Lord of the manor, master.
Master, master!
Speak out, Master Gilbert.
There's a stranger approaching.
You know what to do, children. We'll reconvene in Gilbert's shed.
Bring your stew.
We've lost the master. Where did the master go? I'll keep the master happy now. Beside yon straggling fence that skirts the way, with blossomed firs unprofitably gay, there in his noisy mansion skilled to rule, the village master taught his little school. A man severe he was, and stern to view. I knew him well, and every truant knew. Well had the boding tremblers learned to trace the day's disasters in his morning face. Full well they laughed with counterfeited glee at all his jokes, for many a joke had he. Full well the busy whisper circling round conveyed the dismal tidings when he frowned. Yet he was kind, or if severe in aught, the love he bore for learning was in fault. The village all declared how much he knew. 'Twas certain he could write and cipher too. Lands he could measure, terms and tides presage, and oh, the story ran that he could gauge. In arguing too, the parson owned his skill, for e'en though vanquished, he could argue still, while words of learned length and thundering sound amazed the gazing rustics ranged around. And still they gazed, and still their wonder grew, that one small head could carry all he knew. But past is all his fame, the very spot where many a time he triumphed is forgot. We're going to have a reading now from Mary D. If Mary D is in the audience, could she please come to the fore, please? Thank you. And we're going to follow that with a reading, bringing it right up to date, or almost right up to date, with Karen. Hop along over there. And then we're going to have a little treat for you at the end. But here's a treat right now, Mary D.
Thanks, John. I think it's glorious to be here in this lovely setting today for this unique event, really. And there's great credit due to those who have organised it and those who are taking part in it. I just wanted to say a few words about where I went to school. I went to the Presentation Convent in Lixnaw. I was living a mile and a half away from it, and I done that walk every morning and every evening, like all the other children, no matter what the weather. Sometimes we crossed the monument, as it was known in Lixnaw, because it was a shortcut to the school. And the monument was a very historical mark in Lixnaw, because it was the home and the burial place of the old Fitzmaurice clan. So us children would climb the steep hill and then run down the two fields, and we were actually at the school gates almost. And coming home in the evening, we would roll down the hill. We had no pains or aches that time, not like now. The presentation order came to Lixnaw in 1877. They were invited there by Bishop Moriarty, who was a native of Lixnaw himself. They began teaching in a very old big house down to where, somewhere down around where the post office is now, because the school wasn't completed. But the school was built in 1881, and they came up and began teaching there. When I went to school there were 16 nuns in the convent and no lay teachers. They were very strict, very severe maybe. Corporal punishment was used widely in the schools that time, so we all felt the weight of the slapper regularly. Everything was taught through Irish, except Christian doctrine. I'm not quite sure myself whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, because personally I forgot a lot of what I learned, because when I forgot about the Irish, I forgot about what I had learned in Irish. Boys and girls attended the school until they reached second standard, and then the boys had to go to the boys' school at the top of the village, and the girls continued. Our uniform was a red jumper and a navy gym slip, and in the secondary it was a navy gym slip and a blue jumper, and we could change to a white blouse in the summer, and that went right through the school. From the moment you start the school, you went into uniform, and that was it. As well as all the classes, the lessons we had to learn, we were taught cookery, music, we had Irish dancing, and we had ball drill. So overall, I think we came away with a good grasp of most subjects. And I suppose we have to thank the nuns for that. And like all children everywhere, you have mixed memories of your school days. But on the whole, mine were happy. That's all. I have to say, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with her, like, this is just for attention.
School days. The best days of our lives, they said, those early mornings out of bed, the uniform of blue and grey, and tracksuits worn on Friday. These stories that my granddad told of beatings and the bitter cold, the sickness at the thought of canes, and bare feet ate with red chilblains. Not like the treatment we endured, indeed our times were far from poor. With lunches packed and special treats on Fridays, teachers gave us sweets. Inside in class with central heating, libraries with comfy seating, books with pictures in bright colours, copybooks with shiny covers. The drive to school in the hill bus that often ended with a fuss, when the bus driver complained of too much noise from our refrain. The teachers there were strict enough, and oftentimes 'twas rather tough to stick to all the school rules, but you'd be caught, they were no fools. 100 lines kept in from play was probably the worst you'd pay for talking, messing, shouting, or running in the corridor. In younger years the boys were mean, out to impress the girls were keen. The playground games were simpler then, a game of tag to see who'd win. School tours when we reached 6th class, and learning songs for choir at mass. Fridays brought PE and art, and tests of what we'd learned by heart. A half day as each term would end, a sad farewell to all our friends. No Facebook then to keep in touch, somehow it didn't matter much. The time then came to move along, and as I look to years bygone, those simpler times with little need, the best days of our lives indeed. Thank you.
Wasn't that wonderful? Well done, Karen. Thank you. And now a treat. Young Jack. We got young Jack to come and tell us about his school days.
My school is our nice school. We get to do fun things together like football, golf and dancing. Jackie keeps the school nice by cutting the grass, painting the school. We have best friends. I like to play a tune on my tin whistle, it's called Rattling Bog.
Well done. Thank you so much. Wasn't that wonderful? It really makes you understand why Irish people value education so much, doesn't it? Absolutely beautiful. It's my duty and honour now just to say a few words of thanks to people, and please forgive me if I omit anyone. It's all been sort of scrambled together in a hurry. And just before we invite Robert Bunyan and James Finnerty to take the microphone, I'd like to thank yourselves for turning up and making this such a lovely occasion. I don't think we could have fitted too many more into the garden. We would have had to go over into the motions, and that would be a shame. The Ballydonoghue Bardic Festival Committee, thank you all so much for all your behind the scenes work and all the things that made this possible, from the food to the furniture to everything else that goes to make an afternoon like this. The poets, the readers, Jack, Karen, Mary, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. The cast, Garrod and his brilliant band of scholars, weren't they just absolutely superb? Joe Murphy, I forgot to mention, Joe lent us a lot of the costumes and helped in all sorts of ideas for Garrod as well. Our musicians, who are brilliant too, and we're going to hear more from them in a few minutes. And Katie McNamara Personal, for lending us Jack, amongst other things, all the other help she's given us. All our cooks, all our bakers, Joan, Karen, Nolan, Kate, well done. All the food is over there now. You're going to be able to sample potato cakes and all that kind of thing. John Stack, you'll have seen the photographs already that he took for the newspaper and for the advertiser. The quality is absolutely superb, and it's taken more today, which I've no doubt will be brilliant too. Thank you, John. John Lynch and Charlie Nolan, our cameramen, our brilliant cameramen, of which you'll hear a little bit more later. And anyone else that I've forgotten, thank you so much. I appreciate it. The committee appreciates it. Thanks again. Can I now invite Robert and James to come to the microphone?
Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, I won't delay you too long. National Heritage Week, the Pope and Ireland, the sun shining, couldn't wish for better. And we thank the Ballydonoghue Bardic Festival Committee. I can shorten that to BBCF, BB Festival, BBFC. Wouldn't that be nice and short now? So I thank the BBFC for allowing me to speak here today. And before I start, I compliment Garrod and the lads there under the beautiful setting, recreating the past. There are several ways to recreate the past, to study the past. The Ballydonoghue Parish magazine, of which Jim here is very much involved with, has done it for many, many years, doing it literally. You can also do it orally, you can do it by music, you can do it by dance, you can do it several different ways, looking at the past. But right now, I'm in great danger because there's a man shining a camera on me, John Lynch, who for decades has served his community so well, videoing and filming the past. It's a patient, dedicated job. Just take a look at him. While I can look up at the sky or look around me and talk at the same time, he's looking through a camera, and he has been doing it for decades, recording agriculture, sport, music, you name it, he has done it. Far more important than that, he has shared it with his community. To paraphrase John F. Kennedy, it's not what your community can do for you, it's what you can do for your community. He has left us, and will leave us more, I've no doubt, a fantastic legacy of filming the past. And when we sit down at home, all we have to do is press a button. Little do we know, and I only know a fraction of it. There's here today, maybe an hour before we started, there is editing, dubbing, transferring, all the other things that they do that we know very little about, that doesn't happen overnight. Over here on the left is Charlie Nolan. Charlie has been a great help and is following in the footsteps of John Lynch and does terrific work, and I've no doubt in time, Charlie, your work will be well recognised too. But today, Winston Churchill said, never have so many to be thankful to so few. I say never have so many to be thankful to one man. For decades he has been doing this, he's behind the camera, he's never in the films, he is well respected, it's appreciated by many, Johnny. We have never said it to you, I know you wouldn't want it said, but so many have said it should be said, and today we recognise your terrific contribution to filming the past, because with all our brilliance, that is the past right now. All we know about is the past. We can guess the future, we can guess tomorrow, the present is momentarily, so all we know about is the past, and you have saved an awful lot of the past in our Kerry and beyond for us, and for that we are grateful, and we would like you now to leave the camera and to come up here and accept a small little presentation from the many organisations that have asked us to do this, from Jim Finnerty, a man who was an unsung hero like yourself, John, who has done an awful lot to keep people happy, sitting down, flicking on, look at this person, look at that, look at the other thing, and in a few days' time we'll sit down and watch what you're doing here now. But you'll go home tonight and you'll put a lot of time into that, you'll put it on a disc, and all we have to do is press a button. So we thank you for your dedication for your skill, for your professionalism, for your longevity at it, John. You're a great man. Nobody has maybe come along to make a presentation. Several have said it should be done, but I thank the Ballydonoghue Bardic Festival Committee for allowing us today and being very helpful in organising it to get you here, John, for this presentation. I know you mightn't be happy about it, John, but you're a great man, so put your hands together for unsung hero John Lynch. Come on, John. Now, if you can see it from there, stand in, John. It looks very like John Lynch in action, doesn't it? So over to you, Jim. You want to say a few words?
On behalf of the Bardic Festival, I would like to thank everybody for coming here today. What a beautiful location. As Robert has said everything. So I probably have to leave the price of a couple of pints at Tomartians tonight for him. Praising me and praising everybody. But John Lynch has filmed things in the past, and which are very, very important. And two of the videos I was watching there, the way I remember it, I said a film that was made in 2000. People cutting hay, thatching, flailing, and all that. So on behalf of the Bardic Festival and the people of Ballydonoghue and its hinterland, I would like to present you with this presentation, John.
We're nearly finished. While John is doing a lot of that work, and while we're all everywhere, maybe where we shouldn't be, there are good people at home taking care of everything that goes on. So, anytime you're looking for Johnny Lynch, there's Noreen you might find. She'll direct you where he is. So behind every good man is a good woman. So Noreen, you wouldn't want this either, but you'd never come up for a second. And Kate McGrath, in appreciation for your help behind the scenes, will present you with a bouquet of flowers. So come on, Noreen.
All the committee now, all the committee.
Come forward, hit the mic, because Charlie wants to get a shot of it as well. And stage here for 1 minute, and just so, and one more. Now stage you up for a second.
Thanks, Brendan.
Charlie.
It's fine.
Okay.
Everybody all right? Yeah, but you want to... Are you all right?
I said, fuck it, I have to call him something else.
Robert, would you get a photograph?
And one more, and that's it then. Thank you. Stay where you are, lads.
Fine, relax.
All right.
We're still talking. We're still talking to each other. Talking to each other. All right.
Another trouser on, Robert, is it?
Thanks.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Have we all collected the quiz? Can I just say, while we're collecting the quiz, that there's a lovely continuity about this for Kate and myself, because in the year 2000 we arrived in North Kerry in the month of May, and at the end of May we had the Lisselton Writers' Festival, at which the very first function that took place in the Shanachie Writers' Centre, and which we attended, was the launch of a VHS video created by John Lynch on the subject of the last of the Ballydonoghue Free Rangers. And I think we have the last of the Ballydonoghue Free Rangers here this afternoon, have we? Yeah. Jack Griffin? He was here. He was. And we met a load of people from Ballydonoghue that afternoon. Oh, hi, Jack. Yeah. And we thought, Jesus, they're not too bad. We might stay. And here we are 19 years later, trying to find an excuse to leave, but we can't. Have we a quiz? How's it doing? I'm sure the children won't be going anywhere. What I suggest is that you go and get something to eat, and we'll invite the musicians up here to regale us with some more jigs and reels, and as soon as we know the result of the quiz, we'll announce it. We had a slight technical hitch in that we have a tie for the quiz and we only have one prize. But don't worry, we have a plan, and the plan is that the other prize will be available in the post office on Tuesday, because I can't guarantee to get it all sorted on Monday. So if you go into the post office on Tuesday and you don't have a prize today and your name is Colm Garvey, have we got Colm Garvey? And Thomas Scanlon. Have we had Thomas Scanlon? I think so. They've come up with a better plan. They're going to fight for the prize. Who have we got then? What's your name? Thomas Scanlon. Thomas Scanlon, congratulations. Well done. And Colm Garvey, if Colm goes into the post office on Tuesday, that'll be a prize for him. Okay. In fact, give me that back so I get the name right. Thank you. Okay, thanks again. Good night, live. Good night, Maga.